Hello and thank you for joining us on Newsweek, where we highlight some of the biggest stories that made the headlines recently. I am Mark Otabo. This week, court adjourns IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu's trial indefinitely. Also this week, Southwest governors partner on regional development, plan joint security team against bandits. And later on the show, Nigeria Customs hands over 3,897 seized arms, ammunition to Weapons Control Center. All the details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. The ongoing trial of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has been adjourned indefinitely after he reiterated his refusal to be tried before Justice Binta Nyako. On the 24th of September 2024, Kanu had requested Justice Nyako to recuse herself from his trial, citing a lack of confidence in her handling of the case. The case file was forwarded to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court for reassignment. However, Justice Soho returned the case, stating that she was best suited to handle it. Even though Kanu protested the judge's decision, prosecutor Adegboyega Awomolo SAN objected to Kanu's remarks and requested a definite hearing date. Kanu, who has been in the custody of the SSS since 2021, faces charges of terrorism and treasonable felony related to his separatist activities. Of course, legal practitioner Justice Ojino joins me live in the studio. Justice, it's good to have you again this evening.
It's my pleasure.
Fantastic. And of course, I also have the editor of Security Digest, Chidi Omeje, joining us virtually. Chidi, good to have you on the show this evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. All right, I'll start with you, Justice Ojino. Now, the trial of the leader of IPOB right now is taking a lot of dramatic turns. From what you experienced over the week and some of the issues that has been emanating from that situation, from a legal point of view, how would you react to them?
Okay, for me, you know, I have serious limitations because the matter is one that is presently before the courts, sub judice, prejudice, and all other ethical considerations really restrict me. But I must say that I'm not happy with exactly the things that happened while the court was sitting and afterwards, and probably also before, because a number of videos emerged wherein the court was highly disrespected. The prosecutors were disrespected. The defendant's lawyers too were disrespected, and the defendant himself was not really happy. I may not be able to go into the propriety or otherwise of maybe the way he's being treated, the way the case is being handled, and that for now. But I'm generally not happy. And I will keep stating what I've been saying before now, long before now, that any way that we can resolve the matter in order for it not to cause so much strain on our judicial capacity and currency, we should just handle it in any other way but this judicial way, because it doesn't look like this judicial way is really auguring well for all the parties involved.
All right, Chidi, very quickly. Now, his recent outburst in court that went viral has built up an emotional reaction online with different interpretations. Do you think this was strategic on his part?
Look, I'm not actually interested in all those, side shows. I'm interested in the substance of the issue. But I will leave that to the lawyer there in the studio. Sometimes we get distracted by all these foibles. The law. The important thing is, are we delivering justice? Are we resolving an issue to make sure that the polity is not heated up? Are we trying to, do things that will give the country some respite? I mean, this is a country that we have plethora of crises across the regions. So any opportunity to take one out should be exploited. Political means, whatever means, to just like the barrister there said, that we can exploit other means to make sure that this thing is put to rest. I mean, this is something that I thought by now we would have been able to get over with, so that the country can move forward from that angle. So I'm not really interested in the side shows. All
right. Okay. Now, Justice, very quickly. Given that no other judge in the Abuja division is willing to take it, the only viable option is to transfer the matter to any division of the Federal High Court in the Southeast. particularly since the alleged offenses have an impact in the Southeast and not Abuja. This gives the Southeast divisions superior jurisdiction compared to Abuja. This was a letter by Nnamdi Kanu. How would you react to this revelation?
That's from his own point of view. He has a very, very solid argument in that regard. But it is not watertight. I will say this because we have seen situations where matters that are sensitive or too sensitive for states end up being taken to Abuja. And unfortunately, so we can see that the Edo State Election Petition Tribunal is presently sitting in Abuja. It was initially in Edo State until it had to be moved. And most matters end up being handled or litigated in Abuja because of the extra guarantee or layer of security of all the parties involved, including that of a defendant. That generally is the reason why Abuja is the preferred site for litigating matters like that. So if that's his own opinion, if the government or every other person that are considering what is at stake, if they feel that for the safety of all the parties, Abuja is the best place to litigate it, then unfortunately that will be where the matter will have to be litigated. Okay,
well, Chidi, very quickly now, there are some rhetorics that the insecurity in the Southeast is also connected to the case ongoing at the moment with Nnamdi Kanu, that the instability experienced there is as a result of the way the case is being handled. Do you also agree with folks trying to toe this path?
But that's the reality. That's the truth. There is a nexus between the continuous incarceration of this gentleman and the spike of crimes and criminality, and of course the insecurity in that region. It's no brainer. Everybody knows that this is just the fact. So that is why some of us are saying, look, if instead of just wasting our time with all these legal technicalities and then time have been and the whole region, a whole significant region of the country is subsumed into crisis, why not we look the other way out? There are political solutions to some of these things to enable us to have a breather, to enable the military who are saddled with extra theater of operation in the Southeast to have some respite, because they have enough in their plate already. So anything we can do to reduce these crises, these internal security operations by our military guys, should be done. If you, for instance, grant Nnamdi Kanu some respite, release him, I can assure you that there will be a dramatic reduction in crime and criminality in that area, because anybody who is still going ahead to constitute a nuisance or the other will be seen as who the person is as a criminal. But for now, most people are hiding on that. That's what we call opportunistic criminality. So there are this tendency for people to hide under, the agitation for release of Nnamdi Kanu to commit a matter of crimes. So by the time you take that away, that opportunity away, they will now know that any crime there is actually committed by an outright criminal. So that's why I see. So there's actually a nexus, there's a link, there's a correlation between his continued incarceration and the spike in crime and criminality in that region.
All right.
I believe that.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll go on a quick break and Newsweek returns in a moment. Stay with us.